Calling the roll for the Monday, March 31st, 2025 Board of Control meeting. It is 11 a.m. We have Levine Ross serving as alternate for Meredith Turner.
Here.
Trevor McClear serving as alternate for Robert Schlepper.
Here.
Melanie Say serving as alternate for Mike Dever.
Here.
Catherine Gallagher serving as alternate for Chris Ronayne, County Executive.
Here.
Lee Tucker serving as alternate for Mike Chambers, Fiscal Officer, and as Chairperson.
Here.
Anitra Curry serving as alternate for Paul Porter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. If we can take a minute to review our minutes from March 24th, and if there's no corrections, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Say. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is there any public comment?
No public comment.
Moving on to contracts and awards.
First item, BC 2025-217, Department of Public Works submitting an RFP exemption which will result in a payment to Bunzo Distribution Incorporated, doing business as R3 Reliable, formerly known as Josen Paper and Packaging Company Incorporated, in the amount not to exceed $90,656.03 as final payment for janitorial, chemical, and paper supplies purchased between November 9th, 2024 and December 31st, 2024 under contract number 3165 and off contract through February 28th, 2025, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Pavich, Public Works. This is a purchase order with R3, formerly known as Joshen. We did an RFP last year. Joshen had provided Jansan. We did an RFP last year where we just had recently awarded a new contract for Jansan supplies. The previous contract ended at the end of last year. We know we were going through the award process at that time. We are going to amend that contract for no time, but just to get the name change in the system. They've actually changed names several times recently, dating back a year. This last time was a complete name change to R3. Doing a purchase order with them to close out the final invoices. It's the quickest way to get them paid. At the contract end, we had, I think, $111,000, which all these purchases were made within that contract period.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. McAleer. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved. Next
Thank you.
item.
Let the record show Councilman Michael Hauser is now present. BC 2025-218, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $94,412 for a state contract purchase of various Meraki wireless access points, 124 Catalyst tri-band, 2 dual band, 2 outdoor access points, 2 dual band sector antennas, related accessories and licenses for use at various county facilities, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Brianna Witt for the Department of Information Technology. This purchase is part of IT's capital improvement program. So these access points are going into jails 1 and 2 primarily, and then there's a few that go into outdoor facilities such as the parking garage and the heli garage. This is part of their project. There's another purchase coming up that you'll hear subsequently, but they're essentially part of IT's capital project, replacing all of these older access points. There's no adding new, there's just replacements.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. McAleer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-219, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to Melissa Data Corporation in the amount not to exceed $19,213.75 for the purchase of subscription services for various address verification software for a period of 1 year, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Brianna Witt for the Department of Information Technology. This purchase is our address validation software. So this makes sure that the addresses are correct and formatted properly. So this goes into our real property system. So this influences everything real property does, including printing tax bills.
Thank Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ross. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-220, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $232,560 for a state contract purchase of 255 Meraki Catalyst tri-band wireless access points for various county facilities and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Brianna Witt for the Department of Information Technology. This is a purchase. These are the remaining access points as part of IT's capital project program. These are going into 2 or 3 other county buildings. IT works with Public Works to install and configure the access points. And again, this is part of IT's capital improvement project.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hauser. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-221, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $207,977 for a state contract purchase of 924 various Cisco IP phone models and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Brianna Witt for the Department of Information Technology. So as part of IT's capital improvement program, they are replacing desk phones with these newer phones that allow, they're VoIP phones, and then they'll allow us to, as part of the process, to move all of our phone systems into the cloud, a cloud VoIP system. These will be ready for that transfer.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mackler. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-222, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $15,960 for a state contract purchase of 10 HP Z2 G9 workstations, each to include 5-year HP Care Pack extended support and HB Absolute Data and Device Security Premium subscription licenses, and 20 monitors for the Sheriff's Department's training room, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Brianna Witt for the Department of Information Technology. This is a purchase of 10 systems and the accessories that go along with those, part of IT's regular setup. This goes into the jail, into the sheriff's training room. This allows the jail employees who don't have regular access to systems to then have access to systems through the training room.
Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hauser. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-223, Sheriff's Department recommending an award and submitting a purchase order with Millennium Access Control Technology Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $26,566 for a sole source purchase of 8 Impacts 200 frame and tray assemblies, 8 custom aluminum spacers, and 8 paracentric keys to be installed by the Department of Public Works for use in the county jail.
Good morning, Chris Costin, Sheriff's Department. What this is we're buying 8 frame and tray assemblies that go inside the jail door. It has a patented locking mechanism. It allows the correction officers to open the tray from the outside and hand the food into the inmates. It also allows them to handcuff the inmates when necessary, when they're unruly. So this will be installed by Public Works.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Hauser. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-224, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Family and Children First Council submitting an amendment to a contract with the Begun Center for Violence Prevention, Research and Education and the Center for Innovative Practices in the Mandel School of Applied Social Science, Case Western Reserve University for evaluation services, implementation, training, and technical assistance for various programs for the period January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2025, to incorporate an updated budget to replace the insurance requirements with updated insurance requirements as outlined in Schedule A, effective upon signature of all parties, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $35,000.
Good morning, Kathleen Stewart from Family and Children First Council. This is our evaluation contract we have with Case Western Reserve to evaluate all of our programs with Family and Children First Council. The amendment is to incorporate a coaching and training component for our mental health coordinator and 2 other new service coordination team members. The coaching is it's a one-time deal, and it's for a small group of the coordinators from the team. And then they'll work with them directly. The training is very specific for the service coordination program. They were trained by the state, and it's through Ohio Rise as well, which funds part of our service coordination programs throughout the state. It helps to maintain kids in their home and for them not to go into residential treatment facilities if at all possible.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ross. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-225, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Early Childhood, recommending an award and submitting a contract with Board of Park Commissioners of the Cleveland Metropolitan Park District in the amount not to exceed $14,220.20 for rental space, audio-visual equipment, catering, and related services for the Invest in Children annual meeting at the Stillwater Place location, effective upon signature of all parties through May 5th, 2025. Through May 8th, 2025.
Good morning, Marcos Cortez with Health and Human Services on behalf of the Office of Early Childhood, Invest in Children. Again, this is a contract with the zoo, actually, for the Invest in Children annual meeting, which will be held May 8th. We did issue an informal bid for these, and Metro Parks Cleveland Zoo is the best location. We actually held it there last year as well.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? No questions. I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Curry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-226, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Homeless Services, submitting an amendment to a contract with Fair Hill Partners for emergency shelter and supportive services for seniors in connection with the Continuum of Care program for the period September 1st, 2022 to August 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2025, to add Exhibit 2C, which represents the budget for the term of this amendment, effective September 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $22,500.
Good morning again, Marcos Cortez with Health and Human Services on behalf of the Office of Homeless Services. Again, this contract and the next contract are part of the Emergency Solutions Grant funding that the county gets through the Department of Housing and Urban Development, from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. For this contract, Fair Hill Partners will provide emergency shelter and supportive services to persons over 60 who experience a first-time homeless episode. Fair Hill Partners provides safe, trauma-informed shelter and assistance in connecting to seniors housing and the aging network resources. This contract actually this grant award actually goes to our Department of Housing and Community Development, and then we administer it on their behalf. So they get the grant, they do the paperwork in the background, and then we administer the program.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Ms. Ross?
Marcos, has the federal funds through HUD, have they come in yet? I know we were waiting on some additional funding.
So, yeah, by this time, we would have received our letters that we were getting the funds. Like, we did get a notice from the previous administration when they were leaving that we were awarded actually about $10 million more in our community for homeless services. The next step is a letter informing us that the grant awards would be coming, and then the grant awards themselves. We have started to see those letters being entered into what's called the ELOC system. So I know some of our providers have seen some of their grants come through. We've seen some of our grants come through, not all of them, but they're starting to come through.
Thanks.
Any additional questions? Hearing no additional questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ross. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-227, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Homeless Services, submitting an amendment to a contract with Westside Catholic Center for emergency shelter services for family in connection with the Continuum of Care program for the period September 1st, 2022 to August 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2025, to add Exhibit 2B, which represents the budget for the term of this amendment, effective September 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $63,730.
Marcos Cortez again for the Office of Homeless Services. For this contract, Westside Catholic Center offers shelter services through Emergency Family Shelter, Moriah House. They provide families daily meals, housing assistance, location, and supportive services. This is the second of three. There is a third one related to these grant funds that didn't make the cut, which should be on the agenda for next week as well.
Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Second by Ms. Say. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-228, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Homeless Services, submitting an amendment to a contract with Enterprise Community Partners Incorporated to provide permanent supporting housing and income and stability planning services in connection with the Continuum of Care program for the period January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2025, to amend Article 1, Section 1.1, titled Scope of Agreement, to supplement with Statement of Work Exhibit 1A, and to supplement the budget with Exhibit 2A, effective January 1st, 2025, and for additional funds in the amount of $237,700.
Marcos Cortez again for Homeless Services. OHS receives an annual planning grant from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development through the Homeless Continuum of Grant Care Competition. This grant is designed to improve service coordination across the continuum of care. We then issue sub-grants to focus on specific issues and populations through our strategic plan. For this one, Enterprise assists the Office of Homeless Services by implementing the income and stability and permanent supportive housing objectives, which include coordinating our annual PSH, or request for information, coordinating the PSH work groups and the innovation team meetings, and helping us with the operations manual and the policies and procedures related to permanent supportive housing.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item?
Let the record reflect that I misspoke the amount. It is $235,700.
Thank you.
Also, let the record reflect Meredith Turner is present. Levine Ross will continue as alternate.
Any questions? Hearing no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ross. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-229, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Reentry, recommending an award and submitting an agreement with the Public Defender's Office and Sheriff's Department to define the roles and responsibilities and payment terms for the purchase and distribution of various products to inmates being released from the Cuyahoga County Jail in the amount not to exceed $100,000 for the period January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025.
Good morning, Marcos Cortez for the Office of Reentry. The Cuyahoga County Office of Public Defenders will be providing pre-packed bags or boxes for inmates to the sheriffs for distribution to inmates at the time of release, which can contain basic hygiene products, new clothing, seasonally appropriate items like hats and gloves, bus passes, and a resource packet in a reusable bag or box upon the release. We do have Ashley Stebbins here from the Public Defender's Office who can answer any more specific programmatic related questions.
Questions on this, Councilman Houser?
So I did have a question. So it looks like this program was funded by donations in the past. Is this a one-time ask, or will you guys need additional funding in the future?
Thank you. Ashley Stebbins with the Public Defender's Office. It was completely donation-based for the last 2 years. We are hoping that this is something that we can build into the budgets forward and seeing how this goes. This number will provide between 5 and 10 bags per day for the next year for people being released that have been identified as homeless or low income.
Okay, thank you. And so, okay,
It is a one-time ask now. We will probably be back again asking for it again. If the program goes as anticipated, it has been very successful so far, so.
okay, great, thank you.
It appears that it wasn't additional money, it was part of the budget for the Office of Reentry.
Okay, thank you.
Additional questions on this item? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hauser. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved. Next item?
Next item, consent agenda.
Okay, if we can take,
Sorry. Consent agenda items number BC 2025-230 through BC 2025-232.
we can take a second to review those items. There's no question on these items. I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Second by Mr. McAleer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Any additional business?
No other business,
Any public comment?
no public comment.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Second. Second by Ms. Say. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Thank you.